What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage. This is the Gravy Bones cart we built for the Cars and Cameras Dust Bowl 500 race, and I'm really wanting to get this thing powder coated. I'm not going to spray paint anything because it takes way too much time, and it's actually, in all honesty, it's cheaper to get something powder coated with my powder coat guide, not yours. Sorry. But what we're doing today is we got a bunch of upgrades. I don't know if we'll get to everything today on today's video, but we're going to try our best. Is these tires. These are Go Power Sports big old slicks. These are 18-inch slicks, and the reason we did this tire combination is because this was the biggest front tire to go with. I could have went wider but not any taller, so I built this chassis specifically for these wheels and tires. But Go Power Sports has sent us their mag wheels and long life tires, they call them. These are like a street treaded tire kind of, but they grip really well. I think these almost grip better than the V-treads off-road. But they got these nice aluminum wheels on them. And we had these mounted by Co-op, because I hate mounting wheels. And Co-op is the worst place to get tires mounted. We've had so much problems in the past, tons of them. So all these are good, but I get it out of the trailer this morning, and this one. That's solid ice water in there, like a liter of ice water. So that means Co-op chose to not tilt the tire back and forth, because these was in the bed of my truck when they came in and it was raining. So by the time they got to Co-op, they had water in them. So instead of sloshing the water out, the guy chose to leave all the water in this tire. Frustrates me to no end, because now I'm gonna drive across town, drop them off, but whatever. So we got these 4x110 front hubs from Go Power Sports. They take the normal 5/8 bearings, just like these wheels have in them. So this will give us actual hubs. And then we have, I think this is 4x156 for the rear. This is the same setup as a 150cc go-kart, this lug pattern. That's the first thing I'm gonna do, is swap out these tires on one side, because I think we're gonna have to cut the rear axle hangers off and weld extensions on them to lift the rear. My guesstimation is we're gonna be 2 inches higher in the front from the bottom of the frame to the table than in the rear. So we'll see if I'm right on that. A lot of changes coming, and we got a ported head coming. We're gonna do even bigger build on that engine because it ain't stupid enough yet. So let's get to work.
Nobody's died yet.
Yeah, well, close. This thing is sketchy at high speeds, but we're also, intro's long as ever. Also, I wanna do a steering rack eventually for a 150 go-kart instead of this push rod setup. For one, it will clean all this up, because you won't have this, you won't have these rods, you just have the rack. For C, it will give us less steering input. So this is like, that's lock. So that's a quarter of a steering wheel turn. So it's a half turn from lock to lock. Am I correct? Yes, half turn of the steering wheel from lock to lock. That is dangerous when you're running 60 miles an hour. So a rack will give us 1 1/4 turn from lock to lock. So it'll slow down the steering so we don't die at high speeds, because I want to get this thing to hit 80 mile per in a later video with Lonnie on it.
Don't let me be there. What? That's terrible.
I'm kidding. When we do it, we'll be safe. We'll do it at an airstrip, put full padding on him. We'll find some hockey gear for him. Look at this welding car. Dang. That's a prime welder sitting on a Z25 welding cart, freshly powder coated, player. Oh. So for those that don't know, this is the same bearing that a 40 series CVT kit takes, and these bearings have this little metal lip on them, and that just keeps it from going inside the wheel. So if you don't have the groove cut, which these Go Power Sport hubs, you can see just the babyest of groove is cut in there. It keeps it from going in too deep. Also, these hubs will work on four-wheeler wheels. So if you have an ATV set of wheels and tires, you can get the hubs from Go Power Sports to put ATV tires. Like if you got some sweet aluminum wheels on your four-wheeler, your dad's four-wheeler, your dad's at work, take them off, order you some hubs, go get your mom's credit card.
Okay, don't do any of that.
Don't do that. Oh. Bet we'll have to take, he'll be all right. Lonnie most of the time rides it, so. So a couple things is these studs are bigger than the hole just by a fuzzy boy. So I'm gonna drill these holes out, and then I gotta jack this up a hair bit more. We're out of jack stands. I just was telling Miss Redbeard I gotta order some jack stands. So we have in our description our Amazon affiliate link. They help us out a ton. And there's these little stainless drill guides. They're not a drill guide. They're like a, you know, a chart.
Somebody will tell you.
Yeah, the exact name. But basically I was gonna see, I knew this was 1/2 inch, but you can see what size hole you need to drill to fit what you're trying to figure out. Like, oh, I wonder what size this bolt is. Well, I know it's 3/8. No, it's a 1/2 inch too. But you can do that to find out what drill bit size. Or if you have a mess of drill bits that don't have a chart with them, you can be like, oh, that's a 1/2 inch. So super handy. They're just like $5, and if you buy them, use our links, we make like 2 cents. So it's probably that low.
Yeah.
Our merch is on sale for the month of December. We have a ton of new styles. We got hoodies and everything. It's under the video, and the discount code is Mary10. It's gonna be a beefy cart.
You're good at that.
Thanks. Okay, we've got to jack up the rear. And you can, I think a lot of Go Power Sports spindles, these little spindle pieces come with a grease element, but these did not. I think these are older ones. We got to drill these and add them just to keep that squeaky turning. Come on.
You're really strong.
You didn't get centered.
I know your foot's in the way.
Oh, I bet. Rubber mallet. Problem is where those lug nuts bit into the aluminum, it kind of crimped the aluminum wheel around the thingy boy. So we have a different way we can take it off. We'll spoil the whole hubs because we're gonna have to anyway.
Oh, it fits.
Well, maybe. We're lucky. Is this rusted on? I did put NTCs on it, so.
Bam.
Is the key still in there?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. You want to tell them what happened to you this morning? Are you embarrassed?
So many things happened to me this morning. I got pulled over in a school zone.
For what?
Except the police officer followed me with his lights on through the drop-off line.
So sometimes you got to take some material off of these keys. It is a pain. Sometimes you do because just of tolerances and stuff. So what we're going to do is take this on the belt sander and do a little shim on it. Go ahead and finish your story of you racing through school zones with
I
children.
wasn't racing.
Oh.
The speed limit is 15 and I was doing 30, he said.
That's double!
He said I was doing 30, but
So is it, in your opinion,
I was wrong, yes.
is it, in your opinion,
But did he have to follow me through the drop-off line with his lights on? No.
he wanted you to know, like,
He
be
was
embarrassed.
making a mockery of me.
Yeah.
He said, my job is to protect these children.
Just that my husband races go-karts and my job is to be as fast as possible. You get hot quick.
I did not get a ticket though.
Yeah, because you flirted.
No, I cried like a
She was
little
like-
baby.
She was like,
I'm-
oh, officer, have I been naughty? How do you get in that shirt? I put it on like every other person, man. Yeah, but with the muscles. She ain't denying it.
That's not what happened.
You're still not denying it. Now I'm nervous. She's like, I was only doing double the speed limit. So in
You
that
know
theory,
how hard it is to go 15 miles?
I don't know.
an
I've
hour?
always followed the rules.
And this is like down a
1%
street.
grade.
It's not a.
You can try to justify sin all you want.
I'm not trying to justify it. I said I was wrong.
Kids in the car and everything.
Church kids in the car.
Oh yeah, that was your holy morning. My mom drinks and drives through here.
I did the right thing. I told the kids I was wrong and blah blah blah. Officer was doing the right thing.
I wouldn't have stopped. Shoot, officer, I thought you knew I was in a hurry and you was escorting me from the back. Yeah.
I think you already did.
So I had to move the rear collar in so the spacing will be a little bit wider on the rear. Let me grab the front door. And also, if you're running these hubs off-road, you need to gusset them on the rear just for safety, because that's just one weld holding your entire wheel on. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to drill this out. No, sometimes you gotta
Work with them.
These are supposed to have the tapered lug nuts, but I don't have any. So I'm just using the Flatboy 27s. Hey boy, you got contacted by Harbor Freight. And I said, hey, do you want some of our stuff? And I was like, sure. And he was like, well, go buy it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Here's the irony. You make fun of me all the time.
Yeah, but I was walking backwards, so. No.
Yeah, but you put the tire there, so
irony not accepted, okay?
you should have known the tire was there.
Going over here, dog.
I don't know. I don't understand. Oh, I see. The back tire's higher up than the front tire.
Okay, so we had 18s on the rear, 11s on the front, and 18s on the rear. So we had to have a difference overall of our stance. 11, so 5 inch or 7 inches, correct?
You do the math.
So when I did this spindle mount on the front of the go-kart, I bent it up like a lot of Mancos are. So that means it's holding the center point of this wheel up higher. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then I had to do the math. Like, I built this chassis for these wheels and tires because I wanted it to be level. And so I did the math, and was it right? Absolutely. So these are 22s and 20s. So there's only 2 inches of difference. Do the math, it'll be 5 inches total difference of height, which if you minus the centrifugal force of the I-beam, I said 2 inches taller in the back and I'm sticking to it. Okay? Come on, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you worry about filming. If stuff falls, it falls. So I got this. If you'll go get you see over the welding tanks, there's a ratchet strap. What's ratchet strap beside them?
I'd like to point out how talented I am. Saved the go-kart and still videoed.
Here we go.
Oh, so close.
I'm gonna get sweaty. That's torque right there. The wheel hub, are we gonna have to modify? Keyway.
I'm gonna say yes. Disgusting bucket.
No, I change it once a week. It's only disgusting if I got film on top of it. So make sure when you're using these collars to offset your keyway. Leave you a little bit of lip. And then just hammer down, baby. Okay. This will be the traction tire with all the water in it. It's like a tractor. These all need air in them too.
Don't push it off the table.
video boring as Dale? Trick question, no. I got $3,000 worth of air equipment. Hard lines, everything. Haven't built the roof over my compressor yet. So we are using a $100 Harbor Freight air compressor.
The water's coming out.
It was, yeah. Which means it's going to continue to leak down. Yeah, right there. See if Becca knows this ditty. So if I have an air compressor, it's empty. Will it weigh different if I put 100 pounds of air in it?
It's got 100 pounds and it's heavier.
So you would say...
No, you can't pick up 100 pounds.
I can't pick up 100 pounds?
No, I'm just saying.
A 6 gallon. Right now it has probably 60 pounds of air in it.
I mean, it's pretty heavy.
So where are you going?
I don't know. I know
No,
it's a trick question.
no, I don't
It's
know.
probably like, no, it doesn't do anything.
What? I can't answer that until you answer the question.
I'm going to say no.
No, it's not. It's just pressure. 100 PSI
Yeah.
is 100 pounds per square inch. It will weigh absolutely... I mean, I'm sure it would have to weigh more, you know, in a very slight fraction.
Jeepers, mister, you're really strong.
So, we got the Carolina squat on the thing. It's not super bad, but it's definitely noticeable. Good thing about these tires, we can deflate them, run a little lower. So it's 6 inches, almost dead on. So I said 2 inches, right? Let's see if my math is correct. Oh! So 2 inches difference. Do we leave it Carolina squatted?
I've been wanting you to do that for a long time just because of the funniness of it.
I don't gotta cut the rear if I flip the spindles. So if you look at these spindles, look at this. This bolt is welded offset, correct? So if we flip that, it would still be off, right? Because how far is that off from this top? An inch probably? A wrench? No, I mean, center, yeah, I mean, it's only gonna change an inch.
And then if you deflate them a little bit.
Yeah, but I probably won't, to be honest. Because you definitely don't want your fronts deflated over anything.
Oh.
Then you're gonna get like, you know, schmishy schmoshy steering. Do you like it better with other tires? So we swap them out?
No.
Swap them back? I mean, it doesn't look too bad squatted like that. Like you don't tell because the tires are so. But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. What I'm trying to do is get out of work is what I'm trying to do. Because I basically have to cut the axle hangers off and weld a 2-inch spacer on top, like a piece of flat stock on top to raise it, is what it's basically going to be. So here's what we're working with. Now, Go Power Sports sells 2 different types of these spindles. This one has the slanted arm on it, and this one has the straight arm. It's not slanted at all. I don't know the differences, what model go-karts they came on. Can't remember, I used to know it. But you can tell, if we hold this straight, you can see how it's slanted downhill. And this one is the straight model. So if we line up with it, you can see it's just straight off. I think this one may work, but I only have one. So that means I'm gonna have to modify the other side by cutting this ear off and welding it straight and in line with this one. When we put the rack on it, we won't have this issue because for one, our rack can mount right here on each side and we don't have 2 links going side by side. So that's gonna be a huge upgrade probably in the next video. And we do have to switch the tires around because this is treaded the opposite way. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one cut off. I think that's right. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll cut it off this side and then weld this on the opposite side straight. And I could even cut this one and go ahead and raise it some, get it up in this area, and then put gussets on it. But we'll see. But I'll get this one modified in the meantime. So this is that tie rod end we cut off. This is 3/16, I believe, and we had some 3/8 stuff on the shelf. So look at the thickness difference of my new tie rod ends. So what I'm gonna do is put a Fat Daddy bead on both sides of this and weld this one on. And then we can upgrade our opposite side. I'll tack it on first to make sure everything's gonna line up and work. And then we can cut the other side off and go ahead and upgrade it to this thick boy 37, because with 2 tie rod links on that one, it scares me a little bit to being, that's hot, to being a little bit weak and flimsy for how big our tires are and the power and the weight, you know, of my fat hiney. So going to be a big beefy upgrade. All right, got that thick son of a gun. I'm actually going to clamp this ground right there. I don't know if I can. Whoa, that welded nice. First tack with the new Prime Weld MIG welder, baby. They just came out with, they tweaked their MIG welder a hair bit and added a digital readout to it. And we may be giving away one for Christmas. So keep your fingers crossed. I haven't adjusted it hardly at all. I just set it on what I think it needed. It sounds pretty decent. So that'll be fully welded, of course, but that's a super beefy, that's the factory Go Power Sports one. So we'll have to cut the other one and modify it to make it match, but there she bees. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one apart off camera, clean it up, get this piece made. Should have copied it, didn't, but I know what I'm doing. So I was making the spindle and I was about to tack weld it, and I got a phone call.
No, don't tell him. Make it super surprise.
Never mind. Scratch that. And bam, she's all done, and I think it looks pretty sweet. Now I think it is just a hair bit lower in the rear, but you can't tell it, so I'm perfectly fine. That saves me a ton of work of cutting those axle hangers off. And the cool thing about it, if I ever want to slap those slicks back on, all I do is put the other Go Power Sports spindles on, and it's a complete bolt up, ready to go setup. We just switch spindles and tires and wheels. So what I'm gonna do is put the other set of spindles from this in those front tires so they just stay with them, and we'll have an awesome setup. So let us know what you think about this build. She looks freaking sick, and it is cambered on the front. That's the way these spindles are, but I actually kind of like it a little bit, so we're going to go with that for now. We might rebuild the spindles later. I know I'm going to definitely gusset these spindles because we thrash on this thing pretty hard, and we can put a piece of triangulated 1/4 inch right there or something on both sides, and then gusset the actual tie rod tab just to make sure nothing's going anywheres. So stay tuned, guys. On the next episode, we're going to mount that new brake master cylinder. Like I said, this is Go Power Sports UTV one. Super simple to mount. We'll show you the whole process of mounting it, and we'll get these brakes back to working, and then we have a spooler to put on it. So next episode, we'll get the brakes done and we'll give it a good ride, and then we'll get the spooler mounted, and that should be it. We can get it to powder coat. Let us know what you think about this Kart, guys. I freaking think these wheels are sick looking. So make sure to check out all the links in the video description where you can find everything that's on this Gravy Bones Kart. Remember, we do have a kit coming early next year out on this. You can weld it together yourself. It's going to be a pretty sweet kit, and then we'll have a parts kit that also you can buy from Go Power Sports, where it'll be every part you need to put this thing together once you do build it. So let us know if you're interested. We are reading comments, guys. Sorry if we don't get to reply to every one of them. Between all of our social medias, it's a full-time job replying. But we are reading, Miss Redbeard reads everything, and I read about 80%. So let us know if you like this cart. I think it looks freaking sweet now. Now it's starting to look more like something off of Mad Max or something with the rust, but we are getting it powder coated very soon. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We love you, and God bless.